It's the NBA on 2K Sports as we get set to bring you all the action. And now a quick check of our starting lineups for both teams. Tip-off goes to Milwaukee. Here's Antetokounmpo. Back to Robertson. Here's Antetokounmpo. Pass to Robertson. Shot clock at 5. Shoots. And he hits the jump shot.
That's just run-of-the-mill for him. A typical day at the office. He's one of the more skilled offensive players out there.
Rose up on top. Back to Pippen. Now Rose. The shot. Tries again. Now here's Rudd. No good on the layup. Pass to Robertson. We play just over a minute here in the first. Here's Antetokounmpo. Back to Robertson. Now here's Allen. That is good.
Not much the defense can do once he gets to the bucket.
Milwaukee on D. They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Sure good, Kev. I mean, too many empty trips. They need some points.
Rose up on top. And again, no good by Chicago.
3 misses to start the game. Still trying to break the seal on that hoop.
Here's Moncrief. Pass to Robertson. Beyond the arc. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Bulls will take it. And about 2 minutes played here in the first quarter. Rose with the ball. Back to Rodman. Up top, Pippen. Jordan. Outside Rose. Connects from three-point range.
I like the offensive awareness to exploit that lack of coverage on that play.
Here's Antetokounmpo. And the layup's good off the glass.
Took advantage of some shoddy defense there. They've got to at least get a finger on it.
There's the screen. Here's Pippen. And he lobs it up toward the rim. It's stolen by Allen. Allen, right side. And in this first quarter, about 3 minutes played. Robertson hits the three-point bomb. He's got 5.
4 or 5 shots have dropped for them already. Not a bad way to get things started.
Back to Rose. Michael Jordan on the wing. Left side, Jordan. Here's Pippen. And they wasted no time getting those 3 points back. Milwaukee in the lead. And we're approaching about 3.5 minutes played in the first quarter. Pass to Robertson. Sidney Moncrief on the wing. And again, Milwaukee with the triple.
Everything going according to the script for them offensively so far.
Now here's Rose. There's the pick. Now here's Jordan. And here's Rose. Shot clock at 6. Left side Rose. And there's the shot clock violation. Couldn't get the shot off in time. Here's Antetokounmpo. Pass to Robertson. Can't connect from short range.
That's terrific defense right there to prevent from converting in close.
Backing down is Jordan. Outside for Pippen. Outside Pippen. 6 to shoot. Outside Pippen. Moncrief defending. And Pippen gets it to go.
You know, with that much of a height advantage, that's exactly what you should do. Take it straight to the rim.
Pass to Moncrief. Allen outside. And another three from Milwaukee.
Boy, I tell you what, he loves getting looks like that from the three-point line. No one near him. That's a warm-up jumper for him.
Now Rose. Outside Pippen. Outside Pippen. Oh, and that one, no question, powered it down. Here's Antetokounmpo. It's a 5-point game. Pass to Moncrief. Here's Antetokounmpo. Down to 5 on the shot clock. A floater. Now here's Robertson. There's a screen. Here's Jordan. That falls. Nice feed that time from Scottie Pippen. Now a timeout called by Milwaukee. And so it's Milwaukee now. It's a 3-point game. Robertson with it. 5 points in the game. Here's Antetokounmpo. Back to Robertson. Clock at 6. Shot by post. And another basket for Milwaukee. Here's Rose. Outside Pippen. Right side, Pippen. Rebound, Milwaukee. Here's Antetokounmpo. And he banks in the layup. Here's Pippen. Back to Rodman. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Bulls will retain possession. Pass to Rose. And he uses the glass on the layup. He's got 5. Here's Antetokounmpo. Now here's Robertson. Sidney Moncrief on the wing. Back to Robertson. 5 to shoot. Now here's Allen. It's hauled in by Pippen. Chicago trailing here. Right side Rose. Back to Pippen. Pass to Jordan. Outside Pippen. There's the triple. No luck. Here's Antetokounmpo. Soft touch off the glass. He has 6. Now Rose. Michael Jordan on the wing. From the post. Rebounded by the Bucks.
That was a good rebound right there, but they haven't been very strong on the glass so far.
Time called here, and the Bulls decide to talk it over. So Chicago going with an almost entirely new group here. Here's Sloan. Pass to Armstrong. Here's Sloan. Out of bounds. Milwaukee takes possession.
Man, I don't know what happened right there. He just basically walked out of bounds.
Milwaukee in the lead. Pass to Dandridge. And another basket for Milwaukee.
You know, there's no better sign of how efficiently a team is operating than their assist numbers. And theirs are fantastic.
Here is Armstrong. Now Butler. Outside Butler. Here's Sloan. Fires the three. Here's Dandridge. Pass to Robertson. Here's Dandridge. Dandridge can't make it work.
Well, he won't miss many of those, especially with the defender not in the best of positions there.
Sloan, that's good.
Pretty passing. Timely recognition as to where the open man was.
Now here's Robertson. He's got 7. And a jam by Terry Cummings. So it's Chicago now. They trail by 11. Pass to Butler. And he gets the bucket. Here comes Robertson. Here's Dandridge. Love grabs the board. And it's going to be a goaltending call here, so they'll count the bucket.
He got there late, but you do have to like the aggressiveness to go after the block. But that one's going to count.
Chicago with the ball. Here's Sloan. Love outside. Here's Sloan. Here's Sloan. Pass to Noah. 6 on the shot clock. Now here's Butler. Count that one. Robertson with it. Dandridge. Back to Robertson. Red with the ball. 6 to shoot. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Bulls will take it. So it's Chicago now. 9-point game. Back to Butler. Here's Sloan. Here's Sloan. Pulls up. Another one falls for Chicago.
You know, it wouldn't be a bad idea to put an extra body on him, get some help when he barrels his way in close. He's such a good finisher, he needs more than one guy to defend him.
Here's Dandridge. And released it in time, but it's off the mark. And so the first quarter is in the books. Bucks ahead. Now the second quarter getting ready to start up. When you consider how the Bucks are doing, what do you guys think? Here's Sloan. Makes the lead pass. Shot's good from Butler. Now here's Robertson. Leading by 5. Pass to Pressing. Back to Robertson. Clock at 6. There's the block. But they'll get another chance. A second chance effort. And the layup is good.
You know, not really a significant margin in terms of them rebounding, but enough to get the job done.
Here's Sloan. Second quarter of basketball, about 1 minute played so far. Outside Butler. The feather touch on the finger roll. Beautiful. He's got 8.
He had his choice of finishing moves there, and you just got to love the fact he went old school with the finger roll.
And Robertson backs down. Pass to Pressey. And here is Cummings. Now here's Butler. Armstrong. Second quarter of basketball, just over a minute and a half played so far. Here's Sloan. That one rolling around and rims out. And here's Robertson. 7 points in the game. Here's Pressey. Banked in off the glass. Here's Sloan. And Love backs in. Smooth as silk on the finger roll.
Brought back the finger roll. That's a nice finesse move to pull off with the defense all over him.
And for those of you just joining us, we're almost 2.5 minutes into the second quarter. Robertson. And he gets the bucket. 9 points in the game so far. Chicago trailing here. Here is Armstrong. Looking for his first basket still in this one. Left side, Butler.
They're really getting the work done inside with their rebound.
Here's Robertson. And he's going up for the alley-oop. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Bulls will take it.
Well, they couldn't hook up there on what's really a pretty basic pass.
So Chicago going with an almost entirely new group here. 3 minutes of action so far in the second quarter. Now Rose. He's got 5. Back to Rodman. To the inside. Dang with it. Pass to Jordan. Shot clock at 6. Misses the layup. He had him with that bump fake. To the middle. It's tipped. It's stolen by Rodman. Outside Rose. Inside. Milwaukee in the lead. Here's Antetokounmpo. He's got 8. Now here's Moncrief. Here's Antetokounmpo. Here's Antetokounmpo. Clock at 6. Pass to Moncrief. 3-pointer. That's good. He's got 6. Now Jordan. Back to Dang. There's the pick. Rose with the ball. The finger roll finish at the bucket. Here's Moncrief. He has 6. Pass to Allen. Back to Moncrief. Here's Antetokounmpo. And here's Moncrief. 6 on the shot clock. Shot is blocked, but he stays with it. And they'll turn it over. Could not get off his shot. 24-second violation. Pass to Jordan. Back to Rose. And here is Dang. Back to Rose. 6 to shoot. That is good. He's got 9.
And what he can do with the ball in his hands borders on miraculously ridiculous sometimes. He's broken a few ankles in his day, that's for sure.
Pass to Presson. Ray Allen is on the way. And another 3 for Milwaukee.
These defenders had better start closing out on those shooters.
Time called here. The Bulls decide to talk it over. The Bucks making a switch here. And it's the Bulls with the ball. They trail by 7. Pass to Rose. Back to Dang. Just 5 on the clock. Now Rodman. From deep. Can't get it to go.
They've been the glass eaters today, guys. A ton of effort out of them down low.
Here's Moncrief. Here's Antetokounmpo. Kicks it out to Allen. Smooth as silk on the finger roll. He's got 10. And here comes Rose. 9 points in the game so far. Outside Jordan. He's guarded by McLaughlin. Right side, Jordan. Outside, Rose. He drains it as the shot clock ticks down. And it's the Bucks ball. Here is McLaughlin. He hasn't scored yet. That, I'm sure, will change. Here's Antetokounmpo. Sidney Moncrief on the wing. 6 on the shot clock. Great look, but off the mark.
When he's wide open like that, he'll rarely miss those.
They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've had a number of empty ones, a long time without a basket.
I got to find something, you're right. Outside Dang. Rose. Here's Rodman. Outside for Jordan. Pass to Dang. Rose with the ball. Fades. Michael Jordan on the wing. Outside Rose. It's another look. And the Bulls take on 2 more.
Guys, he shot a very good percentage today, and they've needed it.
Now here is Moncrief. 6 points for him. Here's Antetokounmpo. Puts it up from 15. And again, it's Milwaukee converting. Here's Rose. 13 points in the game. Michael Jordan on the wing. Back to Rose. No good. Here's Antetokounmpo. 10 points for him. Good. 12 points for him.
He's played an important role in their offense today, guys. Without him, they may not be in the league.
Here's Rose. Blocked. Here's Antetokounmpo. Now Moncrief. Here's Antetokounmpo. Pass to McLaughlin. From downtown. That's good.
A wide open 3. They need much better communication defensively.
Here's Rose. Outside Jordan. Left side Jordan. It's the mark. That's good. Milwaukee with the ball. 10-point lead. Now a timeout called by Milwaukee. And the Bulls making a change here. On defense, the Bulls. Pass to McLaughlin. Now Pierce. Shot clock at 6. Here's Antetokounmpo. The feather touch on the finger roll. Beautiful. He's got 12.
This is some kind of performance we're seeing from him today. He has yet to miss a shot.
Back to Rose. Pass to Kukoc. Now Pippen. Now here's Rose. Left side Rose. Back to Pippen. No good on the 3.
You got to give them a lot of credit for the job they've done on the backboard.
Now here's Moncrief. Here's Antetokounmpo. And there are the Bucks with another bucket.
What a job he's doing here. I mean, his second quarter has been even better than his first. And that was pretty good.
Outside Jordan. Up and in on the layup. He's got 6.
Excellent work offensively to get that shot attempt into a can't-miss area.
Here is McLaughlin. Well-timed pass, and he goes straight to the bucket for the layup.
Boy, they are passing the ball very crisply right now.
Outside Pippen. Pass to Kukoc. And out of bounds as the Bucks gain possession.
Boy, did they ever make a mess out of that one. Terrible turnover.
The Bucks making a switch here. Pierce with it. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change. Moncrief. And Moncrief gets it to go. Jordan with it. He has 6. Now here's Kukoc. With the floater. And through one half, it hasn't even been close. Bucks ahead. Getting back to the action now. It's been a one-team show so far. We'll see if that changes here in the third. And here's Rose. And you can count it. He'll go to the line with a chance to make it 3.
He's just too quick for his man. Left him in the rearview mirror and knocked it down.
And he'll be shooting his first free throw of the game here. The free throw drops for Rose. Here's Moncrief. Here's Antetokounmpo. No good from outside. There's the double team with Allen. Right side, Pippen. Clock at 6. From the arc. Can't get it to go. At one point, they led by 16. Pass to Robertson. And for those of you turning in, we're about a minute into the second half. Moncrief. Sidney Moncrief on the wing. Back to Robertson. On the 3 off target. Here's Rodman. Now here's Jordan. Pippen with it. Outside Jordan. Rose. Outside Pippen. The trade. And the powerful one-handed slam. Here's Moncrief. 8 points for him. Just a little over 90 seconds gone in the third quarter. Allen outside. Deflects the pass. 5 on the clock. And that is good. 14 points for him. Here's Pippen. He's got 7. They set the screen. Allen. And so it's Milwaukee with it. Here's Antetokounmpo. 14 points for him. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Bulls will take it. Just under 2.5 minutes into the third quarter now. Outside Rose. Six on the shot clock. Outside Pippen. High post try. Another one falls for Chicago.
One of the reasons they're behind is because we haven't seen enough of that. He needs to become a bigger part of the offense.
Third quarter here, and 3 minutes have come off the clock. Now Robertson, 9 points in the game so far. From about 16, rebounded by Rodman. Here's Chicago. They've only allowed 2 points so far here in the second half. Pass to Rose. Back to Pippen. High post shot. The shot is off. Here's Antetokounmpo. He's got 14. In the third quarter with just over 3.5 minutes off the clock. Sidney Moncrief on the wing. Now here's Robertson. Lets it go. Allen's shot is off. They're looking to trim the deficit to single digits. Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time getting the lid off the basket so far.
Tries to save it. Rose. Pippen with it. Michael Jordan on the wing. That falls. Nice feed that time from Scottie Pippen. 9 points in the game so far. Here's Antetokounmpo. Back to Robertson. Here's Antetokounmpo. Here's Antetokounmpo. Buries the jump shot. Time called here. The Bulls decide to talk it over. And the Bulls making a change here. And so here is Chicago. Just 4 points. That's all they've given up here in the second half. Rose with the ball. 16 points for him. Pass to Pippen. He's against Allen. 4 on the shot clock. Shoots the 3. And it's Scottie Pippen with the 3. 12 points for him.
And he had 1 in the first as well. He can be dangerous. Keep an eye on him.
Now here's Robertson. Now here's Robertson. He's got 9. Here's Antetokounmpo. Allen outside. Allen right side. And he gets it to go.
He is setting this place on fire, fellas. His shooting has been off the charts.
Outside Rose. Pass to Pippen. Back to Rose. Now here's Robertson. Allen outside. Here's Antetokounmpo. Puts up a 3. And it's good. 19 points in the game. And here's Rose. 16 points for him. Gives him the lead pass.
You know, so many games are decided by which team wins the rebound battle, and that's held true in this one so far.
Here's Antetokounmpo. Now Red, and that's out of bounds. Milwaukee will retain possession. The Bulls making a switch here. Now Red, just 5 to shoot. Fade away. Rebound by the Bulls. Here's Sloan. Out of bounds. Milwaukee takes possession.
And that's just another mistake. I mean, they got it on autopilot and they look totally dejected.
And the Bucks with possession here. At one point, they led by 16. Now Red, pass to Pressey. Robertson with it. Loses his man off the screen and lays it up and in. They got on this roll a while ago, and they just haven't looked back. Here's Sloan. Here is Armstrong. Here's Sloan. And they get it, and he hits the jump shot. 6 points for him.
Superb assist there. He played the role of the maestro on that one.
Here's Robertson. Oh, he's going up for the alley-oop here. Here's Sloan. He's got 6 to the paint. Pass to Armstrong. 6 to shoot. Here's Sloan. Again, Chicago. Now Robertson. They set the pick. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass.
That's what they're hanging their hat on today, fellas. Hard-nosed, smash-mouth play down on the low block.
Here is Armstrong. Jumper off the screen. No good on the shot, a bit long that time. Cummings with the ball. Here's Pressley. Red with the ball. Red with the ball. Down low. Baker. Nice fake, but the layup off the mark.
Well, the effort was there, but he just couldn't quite fight his way through traffic.
Here is Armstrong. He's been patient so far. Nothing yet on the scoreboard. Left side, Butler. Left side, Butler. Here's Sloan. The three. And the Bulls, another three.
With the success they've been having from the three-point line since halftime, I'll bet you that scoreboard starts to look a lot different real soon.
Milwaukee in the lead. Now here's Robertson. 13 points in the game. And here is Red. Cummings. They set the pick. The shot's good from Robertson. Here's Sloan. 11 points in the game. Pass to Armstrong. Now here's Butler. 5 to shoot. Lays it up and banks it in. 10 points for him.
So far, going for more of an inside game here in this second half, and I like that. A little smash mouth basketball, taking it inside.
So here is Chicago. 11-point game. Here's Sloan. Pass to Armstrong. And here is Butler. Outside Butler. The finger roll finish at the bucket.
Even with the D lurking, he made it look easy with the soft finger roll.
Here's Milwaukee now. At one point, they led by 16. Here's Robertson. Baker. And terrific work on the offensive glass, and he picks up 2. He has 6.
3 consecutive baskets have come right at the rim. Defense had better start buckling down and tightening up.
Here's the screen. Here's Sloan. Noah in the post. 6 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Now Robertson. 15 points in the game. Joakim Noah grabs the miss. Here is Armstrong. Pass to Armstrong. Here's Sloan. And the Bulls, another 3. Here's Robertson. And that's not going to go. And we've reached the end of the third. Bucks ahead. We'll take... Well, welcome back as we get set to start the fourth. Here's Dandridge. Pass to Robertson. Here's Dandridge. Shot clock at 6. It's tipped. It's stolen by Dang. Here's Sloan. Now here's Kukoc. Kukoc with it. 6 on the shot clock. Here's Sloan. That one goes. Count it. About a minute played here in the fourth quarter. Robertson with it. And out of bounds as the Bulls gain possession. Chicago trailing here. just over a minute played here in the fourth. Pass to Kukoc. Back to Rose. Six to shoot. Poked away. And it's good. With time running down in the shot clock. And the Bucks with possession here. Now here's Robertson. Here's Antetokounmpo. Back to Robertson. Dandridge. Off target with his three. Last quarter of play, about 2 minutes in now. And here is Butler. Outside down. And the Bulls, another three. Here's Antetokounmpo. Abdul-Jabbar. An easy 2 points on the layup. Here's Rose. We're in the fourth quarter here, just under 2.5 minutes gone. Here's Antetokounmpo. Abdul-Jabbar uses the glass to finish the layup.
You don't need much range to hit from that distance, Kevin.
Now Rose. Pass to Butler. 5 on the clock. Left side Butler. And the shot is good. Here's Antetokounmpo. That's good. A bit under 3.5 minutes have passed here in the fourth. Outside Rose. They set the pick. And Pierce over to help. A fader. And it's Chicago scoring again. Milwaukee in the lead. Here's Antetokounmpo. Pass to Dandridge. Here's Antetokounmpo. Down to 5 on the shot clock. From deep. Shot is no good. Rose with the ball. Lots of room. And right on target with the swish. Here's Antetokounmpo. Pass to Dandridge. Defended by Butler. Here's Dandridge. Shot clock at 5. Shoots from 14. And it's another Milwaukee shot right there going in.
He hasn't really done much on the offensive end, but he's worked within the team concept to help them get the lead. He's done some other things other than scoring to help his team get the lead here.
Outside Rose. Dang with it. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
And Steve, some of the best highlights you're ever going to see are going to come from this guy. Every time he steps on the court, there's a chance he'll perform the dunk of the season.
The first one falls, and the Bulls making a change here. He hits one, then misses the second attempt from the free throw line.
They'd have loved to cut it to 1 there, but they're still in decent shape if they can get a stop.
Here's Antetokounmpo. Abdul-Jabbar makes it off the glass.
I think they need to get much more disruptive defensively. They can't just keep allowing these easy baskets.
Here's Dang. A rebound by the Bucks. At one point, they led by 16. Pass to Robertson. Here's Antetokounmpo. Now here's Robertson. Here's Antetokounmpo. Here's Antetokounmpo. Can't hit from the elbow.
You know, that's a problem he has. I mean, not being able to knock down that open jumper. I think it happens far too often.
Outside Rose. Back to Pippen. Wide open look. Offensive rebound. And that one's good. Here's Antetokounmpo. Smooth as silk on the finger roll. 21 points in the game. Here's Chicago. Trailing by 4. Up top, Pippen. Here's Moncrief. The feather touch on the finger roll. Beautiful.
Their prowess inside has been tremendous, guys. I mean, it's been no contest down on the low block.
Outside Rose. Right side Jordan. Right side Jordan. And the Bulls tack on 2 more.
Beautiful feed off the bounce to his teammate there. Nicely done.
Here's Moncrief. Here's Antetokounmpo. Pass to Robertson. From deep. There's the bucket. Good.
That shot becomes effortless for him when the D is so relaxed. They got to get more intense.
And here's Rose. Here's Dang. It's blocked. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Bulls will retain possession. And the Bulls making a change here. Pass to Rodman. Clock at 6. Trying his luck deep. And that one's good. Here's Antetokounmpo. And here's Moncrief. 6 on the shot clock. Here's Antetokounmpo. Now Moncrief. Offline from the top of the key. Rose with the ball. Another one falls for Chicago.
He had his head on the swivel and was able to pick out the pass and get the assist.
Now here's Robertson. Here's Antetokounmpo. The steal. And here's the fast break. Here's Pippen. Close the breakaway slam. And the Bucks with possession. The lead is 2. Here's Antetokounmpo. Gets the bucket and the foul. That one on Pippen.
You know, of the last 6 baskets, 5 have come on the interior. This is major smash mouth basketball, guys. He's got ice water in his veins, fellas. No way he's going to miss from the line when the game's still hanging in the balance. I've seen him make too many in this situation.
Now here's Rose. And here's Rose. Defensive foul. There's a good screen. Outside Pippen. Just fine on the clock.
He just hasn't looked right to me. A bit out of sorts, if you will. Something's off with his mechanics, at least as I look at it.
Here's Antetokounmpo. Abdul-Jabbar. That's blocked. Now Pippen lays it in without an inch of room around him. And so it's Milwaukee now. At one point they led by 16. Moncrief fell Sid with it. Here's Robertson. Dennis Rodman pulls it in. Chicago trailing here. Outside Rose. Gilmore. Money! And what a sensational bucket to bring them within 1.
How about raising his game here in the fourth quarter? missing just one of his 5 attempts so far.
Now here's Moncrief. Here's Antetokounmpo from 18 feet away. So it's Chicago now. Pippen with it. Tipped. Pass to Moncrief. Off his leg. And the official saying it was kicked. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Bulls will take it.
Oh, that certainly could be costly. In a close one, those kinds of mistakes can really give the other team momentum.
Chicago calls timeout. Pippen with it. Outside Rose. Pass to Rodman. Robertson with the steal. And they commit an intentional foul. We'll see another one of those so they can get into the penalty. And they go to the intentional foul. He hits the first one, and that... And so both free throws are good. And
that last free throw was critical. Their only choice now is to go for the 3 to tie.
Time called here. The Bulls decide to talk it over. Here's Rose. Can't knock in the 3. And there's the intentional foul. No choice but to stop the clock here. And no good is the first free throw, missing for him. We'll see if he can nail the second. And the second of 2 is good. Now here's Pippen. Here's the 3. Sinks it. And that shot brings them to within just 1. Now a timeout called by Milwaukee. And so it's the...
Yeah. See the crib and ask who did I steal from? Ice tags on making the world feel some.